Hey guys, it's Chelsa Messenger with Picks and Parlays. We're talking college football, Syracuse and Louisville. We've got a promo code. The code is DOG if you want 15% off the entire site at picksandparlays.net. Again, that code is DOG, D-O-G. Louisville, big favorites in this one, minus 18. The total is 56 and a half. Louisville is 2-6 on the season, 3-4-1 against the spread, while Syracuse just 1-7, but 4-4 against the spread. So not exactly the best matchup of all time, but definitely some angles to exploit here. We've got Scott Rickenbach joining us to talk this one. Scott, what are you looking at when it comes to these two teams?
Well, hopefully some edges here, but at the same time, like you said, not exactly a marquee matchup here with Syracuse and Louisville. And on the season, the Orange are averaging 264 yards per game. That's it on offense and allowing 464. So when you're at a negative 200 per game this far into the season, pretty ugly. And I know that the Orange, Syracuse just lost by only 3 to Boston College recently, but in that game, note that Boston College was certainly already looking ahead to their matchup with Notre Dame that was on deck. So that was part of the reasoning there. And as for Syracuse, their prior 6 losses this season, average margin of 20 points per game. And even though Louisville's only won a couple of games this season, average margin 23 per game. And the other thing is, Syracuse can be tougher at home, but they do tend to struggle on the road. And I mention that because the last 2 matchups between these two teams, the home team has absolutely dominated, and I look for that trend to continue here. Average margin of victory, 26.5 points in the last 2 meetings between these teams. That's for the home going to the home team. And I do like the home team to roll here. Now, I'm never nuts about laying a lot of points. That's the only drawback here. But again, this is a matchup we're given here to take a look at. And the fact is, even though the line's about at 18, I do think that the only way to go here is the home team and look for that home blowout. The other thing I do want to mention, though, we're making this video, of course, early in the week. And one thing you want to watch heading toward the weekend is, of course, the injury list, possible COVID issues. Early on right now, it looks like Syracuse has a lot more problems than Louisville does. So I would keep an eye on that. That's only going to help us if it keeps trending that direction. But just want to mention that, too, in this crazy pandemic-affected season.
Right. Looking at the total in this one, it seems like Louisville, they've gone over in 10 of their last 13, and then Syracuse, despite a terrible offense, I was going to say something else, ranked over 100th in every offensive category. They've had some overs too. The over's gone 8 in their last 12 games. So that being said, any leanings towards a total here? I know it's early in the week, so we don't really have a weather report yet, which this time of year, it does make a difference. So something to be aware of. But any leanings when it comes to a total?
Definitely, I would lean toward the over here. Like you said, we're going to have to keep an eye on the weather report this time of year. It's so critical as well. But I definitely would lean toward the over. And that's simply because I do expect, since I like Louisville as a side here, I expect them to pile up a bunch of points. And a lot of times as the game gets later and you've got that big lead, your defense tends to let up a little bit. You know, Syracuse can possibly get a few scores late. So I would lean toward the over in this one. But again, it's just a slight lean. Like, as you mentioned, it's hard to trust that Syracuse offense when you look at their numbers across all the categories on offense. Pretty ugly.
Right. Very, very bad, and probably even worse to watch. That's going to do it for our
Yes.
college football talk. As always, great stuff from Scott Rickenbach. Scott, thanks for joining us.